Why it's important.
Why it's important.
Why it's important.
To be a friend.
To be a friend.
To be a friend. This is the story about a boy named Kyle.
One day when I was a freshman in high school, I saw a kid from my class walking home from school. His name was Kyle. It looked like he was carrying all his books, and I thought to myself, why would someone bring home all their books on a Friday? He must really be a nerd.
I had quite the weekend planned. Football games, parties with my friends that afternoon, so I kind of just shrugged it off and kept walking. And then as I was walking, I saw a bunch of kids run towards him, and they knocked all the books out of his arms, tripped him in the dirt. And then I saw his glasses fly 10 feet into the grass in front of him. Then he looked up, and then you could see the sadness in his eyes.
My heart went out to him, so I jogged over to him, and as he was crawling on the ground searching for his glasses, I saw a tear in his eye. And as I was handing him his glasses, I said, those guys are real jerks, and they should really get lives. And he said, hey, thanks. And there was a big smile on his face, a smile that showed real gratitude.
I helped him pick up his books and asked him where he lived. As it turned out, he lived near me. So I asked him why I'd never seen him before. He said he had gone to a private school before now. I would have never hung out with a private school kid before, but we talked all the way home, and I carried his books.
He turned out to be a pretty cool kid. I asked him if he wanted to play football with me and my friends on Saturday. He said yes.
We hung out all weekend, and the more I hung out with him, the more I liked him. My friends thought he was a great guy too. And then Monday morning came around, and there was Kyle with a huge stack of books. And I was like, boy, you're gonna get some serious muscles with all those books. And then he handed me half the stack.
Over the next 4 years, Kyle and I became best friends. We were seniors in high school, and we were deciding on our colleges. Kyle was going to Georgetown, and I was going to Duke. I knew we'd always be friends, and the distance wouldn't matter. Kyle was going in to be a doctor, and I was going in for business on a track scholarship. Kyle was valedictorian of our class. I always teased him about being a nerd. He was preparing this huge speech for graduation, and I was just glad that I wasn't the one that had to prepare the speech.
It was graduation day, and I picked Kyle out from the crowd, and he really looked great. He was one of those guys that really found himself during high school. I mean, he had filled out, and he even looked great in his glasses. And to be honest, in the end, he had more dates than I did, and all the girls loved him. And I'll be honest, I was even jealous sometimes. But that day was one of those days. And so, as I saw him in the crowd, I went up to him, and I knew that he was nervous about his speech. And so I walked up and I patted him on the back and I said, Kyle, don't worry about it. It'll be great, I just know it. And it was that moment where he turned around and he looked at me and he said, thanks. And it's one of those moments that you just never forget.
And then Kyle began his speech. He said, graduation is a time to thank those who helped you along your journey. Your parents, your siblings, maybe even a coach. But mostly your friends. I'm here to tell you that being a friend to someone is the best gift that you can give them. I'm going to tell you a story. And I stared at my friend in disbelief as he told the story of the day we had met and how he had planned to take his own life over the weekend, and he was carrying the books home so his mom wouldn't have to clean out his locker later. And I couldn't believe it. And he said, thankfully, my friend saved me from doing the unthinkable.
I heard the gasp go through the crowd as this popular, handsome boy was talking about his weakest moment. I looked over to the crowd and I saw his mom and dad giving me the same grateful smile, and it wasn't until that moment that I realized its depth.
Never underestimate power of your actions. With one small gesture, you can change a person's life.
So how can you help? Be a friend.
Be a friend.
Be a friend.
Talk to someone that looks upset.
Lend a helping hand.
Invite someone to hang out.
Help unconditionally. Who do you think will want to hear from you? Call or reach out to that person today. It might feel awkward or uncomfortable, but trust me, they will want to hear from you.
Be a friend before you lose one.